Yeah, just all the way.
Oh no.
Ripperoni.
That's so sad.
Alright. TLDR.
Yep. Running.
Session started in the immediate aftermath of us killing the trio of Ettins and the 4 goblins. The 2 humanoid corpses reached lion guards, who were really tough dudes who got completely ambushed and totally boned. Now there's less than 18 of them in the world, which is a problem. They didn't even get to draw their weapons, and they got super killed. We found a missive and 10 chests filled, 3 filled with 1,000 silver each, and 7 more filled with gems, all of a similar value. And the missive with it was a letter to Ervath, Helm Smasher of the Shining Axes Mercenary Company from the Dwarven Mountain Hold place down in the south. And the payment in the chest was for 200 soldiers to defend Brindle and the Vale. We were like, oh shit, well, this is really far out of our way and not where we were trying to go. We should find somebody we can trust to take this somewhere. For some reason, the first person we thought of was the wizard, Sir Tyrion. So we went back, we doubled back to Terrelton. We tried to find him. He actually passed us in the night, so he was already gone away from where we were. But conveniently, Serana was in town, and so we found her at the tavern, setting up lodgings for all the people coming through from Drell's Ferry, and we gave her the missive and the chests, and then she's going to send her 2 lieutenants, and hopefully maybe a couple other useful people south with the money and the missive, so that when we Helm's Deep this shit in another 30 sessions, we have 200 dwarves show up when, the random horns get
Hopefully
won.
they're already there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we rode to Nemon Gap.
Before we left, I give them the key to the coffers.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Good call. Very good call.
While we're doubling back on everything that happened up until this point,
Yeah.
we realized, Zach, that the microphone had been muted the entire time.
Cool,
So,
cool.
Yeah,
future us who's like, why is this silent, you morons? And then, yeah.
So
There it is.
the upload just started there.
Yeah.
Might as well, honestly.
I mean, it's gonna be a full
Timestamp.
hour and a half.
Hey, maybe someone's really good at the big lips.
Yeah, wait, send a message in chat. Do it, Kevin,
Why?
because it's a timestamp for when.
Oh, I'm not logged in. I can't do it.
Yeah, I got it.
You could have done it. That's true. You just go. Perfect. Now.
Ah!
Got him. Wait.
I'm first over here.
I'm first on mine.
This is a stream. It's the source of truth.
There you go.
Yeah. So while you were gone, we were just thinking. One thing: is there anyone who looks like they could? They would be interested in buying a staff of healing. Because I have a greater staff of healing. I don't need the staff of healing anymore.
Very unlikely you're going to
Okay.
find anyone to buy here. So this is literally like just a tavern.
Okay.
There are outlying
Village.
There's like an outline or outlying villages and farms, basically just farms. Otherwise, it's like basically just a big tavern. It's a nice tavern actually. And they are very well stocked and very happy to work with travelers. And this is sort of far enough away from the edge of the Vale at this point that there are travelers here. It's not exactly busy, but you see there are people milling about. They're eating and drinking, and this tavern has proper rooms. It's not just like common area sleeping, and it's how do I describe this? It's like well appointed in a way that like it's not shabby in like a small town type of way that you guys are familiar with from most of the towns.
They make good money off of travelers. And
And
make sure they're the place to stop.
And they very much take care of the premises, right? So it's actually pretty nice.
Very cozy.
Yes. Yeah.
Like a New England coastal place that thrives on Airbnb reviews.
Yeah, there you go. Yep.
There's just one. It's just one Airbnb.
And they wonder whether there's a
And
housing
it's
crisis.
not an Airbnb because people don't fly here. So
There you go. Unless.
Yeah. Well, then I guess I would just.
they actually, ironically, they just call them hotels in this universe.
I guess I'd probably just try to get to bed early since not really anything in this town, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just get,
I mean, unless you want to eat and drink, in that case, there's plenty
Like
here for you.
To gamble with someone.
That you can do too. Absolutely.
I
I
shall
will
do that.
get some fresh apples because this place has a lot of orchards.
It does.
It does.
It does. The
Roll.
not only are there plenty of apples for purchase, amongst other rations, but their specialty is Applejack. I'm good, thank you.
You
And
want some?
it's you have some?
Yeah.
Do you really? And it is quite good. If you taste it, it is quite good. They don't sort of sell it to nearby towns and stuff, so this is kind of the only place you can get it. And it's good. It's really good.
Well, I will look for a schematic. For starters.
There is a small shop here. You can absolutely ask. They just basically have goods for travelers for the most part. But yeah, we can look.
On our way.
Yeah, they don't have it.
On our
more
way out
times.
of town in the morning,
Yeah.
I will give the innkeep a heads up to expect a large influx of folks from Terrelton's Ferry and Terrelton.
How large are we talking?
What's the most?
all of them.
Most-
What is the most? That is your question.
all of them.
The majority of the citizenry from both towns.
Oh, okay.
Captain Serrana Anita of the Drillins Ferry Town Guard will bring the more official word, but figured you could use a heads up to replenish all your stores before they arrive.
Okay. Why? Not why would I replenish my stores? Why is the whole town arriving at my doorstep?
Being from the Nimont Gap, I assume you have, well, the number of passers through that you get, I assume you're familiar with the increased activity of the hobgoblins in the region.
I've heard a fair share of stories, sure. Travelers talk about these things.
Well, further west, there is a legion of organized hobgoblins.
She like sort of raises an eyebrow at you. Uh-huh. Sure. Okay.
You don't have to believe me, but I'd stock up.
I can't hurt, can it?
I'll start at 2 at least.
This place I don't feel compelled to need to get them to understand because other
Yeah.
people are gonna try and get the point across.
Like the entire population of.
yeah.
No,
They-
it is
they
all
might
of them
not
that are
believe me.
wrong.
They're all gaslighting you.
Yeah.
This is a seriously intense
If you say you're going to play, I would be willing to at least stick around for like an hour to replicate the same strategy we did in.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I don't really care too much if I lose.
Yeah.
But I am gonna gamble, and I will use my lucky gold coin as my stake.
Intentionally lose the first. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you go for the same strategy, it's going to be pretty hard to beat you.
Unfortunately, I was hoping for it to. You know what? It's the same result, so.
Yeah.
All right, we do go for the same strategy.
How much did you make last time? I forget. think it was like a couple gold, right?
7, 8,
Seven
7
gold.
gold. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
7 gold last
Yeah,
time.
I remember. I remember because
I forget what our stats were for that. Was it? I was perceiving. 'Cause I was looking at the who was competent.
I was using occultism because I can read people's auras by looking at them.
All right.
go ahead and give me checks for both of those, and we'll see how we do this time.
All right.
I'm going to guidance him as well, since I can do that. Might as well.
Oh, that's so sad. I'm pretty sure that's a cocked 17.
Well, so mine was an 18, but
It's
I
close, but I think
in the event that I fail, I am going to use my omen to because it was books. So if I fail on a skill check, I can use my omen to succeed.
You're
So-
definitely not going to fail.
Okay. I don't know if that upgrades. I can upgrade the level of success, but
16.
Okay. Okay.
It was probably not.
Okay. So you did almost as well this time. Six gold piece is your take.
I give him 3 after the fact. So you can add 3 to yours.
excellent. Your remarkable cards, player, Rex.
Yeah, I mean, somehow I just seem to know what it's gonna happen before it happens.
Not another one.
It's just cards, though. Like, you know how he can only tell what side a coin's gonna land on? I can only predict my success in cards, which is guaranteed.
I mean, I'm not actually there watching you do this, but
Also, while we are, past the point where we were talking about things that happened in the past, I definitely would have taken some of the arrows that we found
Yeah.
to replenish my arrows
Yeah.
from the.
They each had like 30 arrows. So.
Yeah.
I was gonna sell
Arrow cake.
their equipment,
Oh, okay.
Just not the arrows.
not the arrows.
It's
See,
not-
I actually didn't know how many arrows they had, so I didn't know how to sell them.
They come in packs of
And
30.
Now I don't have to worry about it because you just have them.
Provided it's all mundane, they will buy the mundane equipment at Neiman Gap.
Does it even look magical?
No.
Okay. Then yeah, I'll sell it all. I already have the cost total of 13 gold total after it's halved. I'll add that to the fund.
So, like, a light bulk.
And if I don't know how many hours, how late at night is it? Do I have like maybe 4 hours to start a craft, rune transfer?
Does crafting? Can you do that while you're resting?
No,
Uh,
I don't. It's down. That's a downtime activity, I believe.
Then probably not, unless you were willing to start later in the day the next day. Leave later in the day the next day.
And we specifically didn't want to do that, right? We want to get an early start tomorrow.
Yeah, we wanted to start early.
Okay, then we'll start then.
Alright. I will keep wearing them.
Maybe if we didn't need to double back yesterday,
Yeah,
would have had time. But
true.
okay.
Anything else you want from Neiman Gap and the Cross-Eyed Beholder?
Probably, but we won't think about it until we're brindle.
Yep. Sure.
Is there anything else we should get at? Nope, not anything.
Nope, can't think of anything.
Nope.
It's time to ride.
Let's ride. Who named this place?
Neiman Gap?
No, the cross-eyed beholder.
Oh, if you ask, it's the owner, the woman that you were talking to before.
Did you come across a cross-eyed beholder? Or
No, luckily I have never encountered a beholder. But I thought it would make for quite a memorable tavern name.
I agree.
Excellent marketing.
For all I know, all beholders are cross-eyed. If you find one, let me know.
Maybe all cross-eyed people are beholders as well.
Sure. Well, the beds, provided you pay for it, it's a silver, are very comfortable, and rooms are small, but again, well appointed. Beds are down, and it's just a comfortable little inn and tavern.
25 silver order fund.
Nice.
And you find that you're awoken in the morning, provided with when you mention that you intend to leave right away. The establishment's owner sends basically breakfast with you, wraps up a breakfast and gives it to you
Let's
as you
go.
leave.
Fast food.
I take my croissant on the road.
So, heading
Croissant?
further
Quacks.
northeast, up into Talar, is fairly easy travel, quick travel. Again, not a lot of people on the road, not a lot of people to block you, but the overall population of the Dawnway is increasing. You just are seeing more travelers than you were at the edge of the Vale down in Drellin's Ferry. Talar is at the intersection of three roads, or it's at the intersection of the Dawnway and a road headed south. And as a result, there are a lot of people coming to and from Brindle, and you find that while it's not a nice town, it's busy. There's a lot here. A lot of people crossing the Elsier, a lot of people headed into Brindle, a lot of people preparing to come or to leave for trade reasons, right? So it's bustling. It's sort of a mess of a city. It looks like a town that was kind of thrown together overnight. The roads aren't straight, it's all alleyways and crooked buildings and buildings built on top of other buildings, and it's all sort of a mess. But it's sort of jubilant in the way that a town flush with trade would be. There's money here. People are comfortable. People are sort of happy to be working and making money. So, what would you like to do? I mean, I got the sense you were passing through, but do you want to do anything while you are in Talar?
Do I say it?
All right.
Assuming there's a place that might have it.
There are probably more than one place that you can check, depending on how long you want to stay. How long do you guys want to stay?
I guess that's a question where I would ask.
Is anyone else doing anything in Talar?
What's bigger, Talar or Witchcross?
Talar is bigger.
Okay.
I'm almost positive.
You'd look to sell the staff.
I want to sell the staff of healing.
Okay.
I guess I would make a pit stop into probably the same place he's going, and see if anybody's selling rune enchanted items whatsoever. Yeah.
You can sell the Staff of Healing. It takes you about an hour. Then
Does the same person have an armor rune?
armor rune?
Would love to get an armor.
We're just looking. I'm doing a search for anybody who has runic items.
Sorry, you're searching for an armor rune. What are you
Yes.
searching for?
Anybody armor or weapon runes. I'm just doing a quick check while there.
Or armor or weapons with runes.
Yes.
Okay.
You absolutely find a shop selling armor and weapons with runes and runes in and of themselves. Rune stones, I think they're what they're called.
Yeah,
Would you have told me those are useful for you or no?
they are. I can transfer a rune from that just as easy as I can transfer a rune from a weather.
I would be interested in what they have available.
Okay. Okay. So
What's your staff sell for?
It's 90 gold.
Is that half of its value?
No, that's its value. Price 90 GP.
So it sells for 45.
See what we can bargain for.
where is there it is. So
it make more sense to sell the staff of healing, or should I hold on to it? I can already heal, but only.
No, we sell it. We have Frontor's healing. He's got a greater staff of healing. You have healing. I have battle medicine.
Okay. Sell it.
Yeah.
If anyone could use it,
It
I
seems-
have one potion.
Yeah,
We're
it
good.
seems highly unlikely that will be so deep in the tank if that's
Thing
the
that we need.
the thing that we need to heal. Yeah.
Okay,
someone needs to
so
repair that staff.
they have
Yeah.
quite a few
It's broken.
weapon potency
Prepare.
runes, both in stone and in in the form of enchanted weapons.
Yeah.
They have a number of other types of runes. Is there anything specific you're looking for?
I'm looking for a better rune than what any of us I'm looking for either armor runes or any better rune to go beyond +1 effectively.
So you're not going to find a +2 anything
That's
here.
what I figured, but it was worth a peek.
Because I think we're talking about like level 7 or 8 or something.
Fair.
That's just too much for a town of this size.
Yep.
This is like a little bit bigger than Drellin's Ferry
Okay.
in terms of trade. So you're going to find a little bit more. You can find striking runes here,
Yeah.
in addition to potency runes.
Mm-hmm.
You find an armor potency rune
Mm-hmm.
enchanted into a set of plate mail. That is the only armor potency rune you find.
Okay.
Understood.
There are a number of other runes, though, that you do find here. Let's see. You find a Ghost Touch rune. You find a Merciful rune, which is like basically non-lethal damage.
That's fine.
You find a couple returning runes. You find, let's see, a couple size-changing runes.
Size changing.
Basically just for armor, it lets the armor
Be bigger or smaller.
it lets the armor cast, I think, enlarge on you once a day or something, or shrink on
Enlarge
you
or
once a day.
shrink.
That's
Yeah.
pretty cool, actually.
That's very cool.
And then you find one rare rune that you've never heard of before called where is it? Called snagging.
I have that.
You have a snagging rune?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I've never-
That's actually funny that showed up.
Yeah. Because
A rare breed that you have heard of.
yeah, I'm wearing since session 1.
That's really funny, actually.
But yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh, that's cool.
That's the thing I got instead of like it was either that or like the long seeing tattoo that you have.
Yep.
You know, with a snagging rune.
Pretty cool.
You sent me a link to that, didn't you?
Yeah, I know something for it. It was formula I'm looking for.
Yeah, the formula.
I did.
So size changing, ghostly, snagging, returning. Which I think I can guess what returning does.
I think you can probably guess.
You'd be wrong, but you can guess.
I figured it out correctly. Crazy. Well.
You find it.
Let's
Against all
go.
odds, you find it.
I want to pay this person to copy this formula.
I rolled it critically on a D100, so
You rolled 100?
yeah. So I don't know what you want to do with that, but like there it is. I did not intend for you to find that quickly, or less my intention and more the likelihood. It's just
Sure.
did not expect
I
it.
can't make it yet because it's too expensive for me to make right now. But I do want to get the formula in my books so that when I have the time to make it, I can.
Okay.
So I will spend some time copying that.
And what was that formula for?
Good question.
Wouldn't you like to know?
Yeah.
Well, it is a 4th level item. 4th level rune. So I need to pay.
I didn't commit to memory the name of what he was looking for.
I don't think I ever said it.
Just search all 4th level.
5 gold.
runes then.
I have 5 gold for the copying.
Search
Okay.
all 4th level runes.
Yeah.
Wait, it's a rune formula, though.
Search all 4th level runes.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I would love to buy it now, but I don't. Well, that doesn't mean he has one.
He does not have the item.
Okay, so that's the formula. Perfect. Well, that's what I wanted anyway. So. Okay.
Anything else you guys want to do in?
How much was that enlarging rune? A lot.
No, it's actually really inexpensive. I think.
Really?
What's
Nethus
it called?
would disagree.
Oh no, never mind. You're absolutely right. It's really expensive.
What's it called?
Size
Size
changing
changing.
Size changing.
with a dash in between.
Let's just say we could have bought all of the other runes that were listed,
Okay.
Yeah.
and it would be less.
I'm going
That's,
to.
that's probably worth it, but just not right now.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna ask
Eventually.
Shadow Steel a question.
Oh, okay.
Well, Shadow Steel, can you make use of runes like these?
Oh, interesting. You feel sort of a vibration, but you hear no words spoken. You're honestly not sure what to make of it. Have you spoken to the blade like this before?
No, not since
Okay.
it was
I didn't think
the
so.
original morphing time.
I didn't think so.
Like he spoke to, like I just stuff's been going on. I haven't been thinking about my sword that can talk.
So you sell the staff for 45?
Yeah. Or trade it in for the. If the same person has the staff, who wants the staff has the armor potency rune.
On the plate mail?
Yeah, and on the plate, right?
Yep.
Okay.
You'd have to pay some as well, I presume.
I don't know how much it costs. Man. He's
Hmm.
Oh, I was looking at the wrong person's inventory.
I could.
Wrong doors. I thought I had more gold than that.
I could actually. I could make this item with, but I would need. Well, not yet. Because now it's just the way I have on me.
Zach, how much is the armor potency rune?
Well, I think the rune is like 160, right?
Yep.
But the armor itself is also not free.
It's plate mail.
I think it's 30 gold pieces. Yeah.
Not worth.
Yeah, especially for how much time we have to sink into moving it.
Easy to see what you got one already. But yeah, I don't think I don't have that kind of money, so.
Yeah.
For what?
The armor potency. Well, to buy the armor and the rune on it.
You would take a big loss. Because it's a plate out of plate art. It's like back the plate for half would be.
Yeah. Well, I think it's more likely you find another armor potency rune on a piece of armor.
And we need 3 more.
What's
Right?
that?
We need 3 more, right?
Yep.
I can make them, but. Yeah.
Alright, well, I'll sell the staff then for whatever.
45. I mean, I'll take 45 if you think that's crap.
So 45.
What does so I know that copying spells in your spell book from like scrolls and stuff is risky, and if you screw it up, you just you can like lose the scroll and have nothing to show for it.
Yeah.
How does it work? Like, can I find a wizard who has lightning bolt in their spell book and be like, can I copy yours? Like, how does that?
No, I think that is a thing. But I cannot remember off the top of my head like what the time requirement is.
Fun fact,
my boy Davian
There's
employing
a mechanic in the game you can destroy magic items
Ralos
to
techniques.
attempt to reverse engineer the formula.
Really?
Is it all gone for you?
Yeah, Stefan wiped it.
What did I wait?
Just put it into your personal funds.
Oh.
You sold your item.
No, I know. I did not. But I just thought we had the track.
No, Stefan emptied it because we sold all those. Those were like all that buying and stuff was already simplified.
Mm.
We currently have nothing that needs to be sold, and Stefan already added money from something,
From the selling of the
the generic items.
1 hour
Yeah.
per spell rank, during which you must remain in conversation with a person who knows the spell
There you go.
and have the magical writing in your possession. And then I have to beat a DC, the typical DC for like a 3rd level spell is 20.
Yes.
And, and then higher, rare level spells are.
It's 165 gold pieces.
Correct.
Plus 1 hour bonus hero.
160. Yeah.
60.
Oh, yeah. It's pricey.
Pre the armor that it.
Generally speaking, uncommon adds 2 and rare adds 5 to DCs,
Okay.
except in special circumstances.
I can craft one in
Can I find,
2 days.
I guess,
2
so
days,
while
but
the
50%
shopping and other
chance
stuff is
I
happening,
fail and
is
lose
there a
10% of the
mage
value
in town
every time I fail.
of the armor.
who
Of the
knows
room.
any of
Plus 1 armor you-
elemental
Like, I
annihilation
craft the
wave,
room directly.
lightning bolt,
Yeah.
or wooden double?
What level are those
All
spells?
3rd.
They're all 3rd level spells.
Yeah.
What level does a wizard learn 3rd level spells?
5th.
5th. Okay, so there's a chance. Okay.
Lightning bolt. Lightning bolt.
Okay.
Just I'm gonna drink.
No, Trevor.
You said elemental.
Elemental
Flame
annihilation
wing.
wave, lightning bolt, or wooden double.
Are any of them uncommon or rare?
I don't think so, but I will double check.
Would it be fairly trivial to find someone who has a plus 1 armor potency rune formula?
Yeah.
Okay.
They all are blue, so I think they're just normal rarity.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, because gold is uncommon. Yeah, none of them are gold. And I don't know that
Okay.
I've ever come across a rare spell.
You find someone actually very quickly who knows lightning bolt.
Awesome.
Hey, Town Guard, do you know lightning bolt? Or do you know someone's lightning bolt? Yeah, I know it. Oh, wow.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why do you think I'm town guard? Come on.
I'm really good at my job. Cool. And is it just that I come across that first, or I don't find the other 2 at all? or-
That is the one you find.
Okay.
It-
I would like to pay this person, or I guess expend it's like 16 gold worth of materials, right? So I mean, I guess it's a combination of materials and then paying this person who I'm copying the spell from.
Correct. So,
Do you see this bubble just like a wizard or no?
Yeah. It's actually the one annoying thing about the fact that my multi-class is wizard is
Oh no.
the so I get a tab for architect wizard, but it doesn't know that my spellbook is the same for both.
Oh.
And instead of trying to maintain it in 2 spots, I just like give myself
Oh.
bonus spells under Magus and go from there.
Sure.
so
For us, if we want for a gold for 1 hour and 8 gold, I can add the armor potency room to my schematic, which reduces the time it takes to craft by a day. If you guys want, or if we just want to wait until we find one.
It reduces the time to craft it by a day.
It's from 2 days to 1 day.
So you need a full 8 hours of work on it, though, right?
And then I can, yeah. Do you guys want to spend?
There's probably not worth it.
So he will charge you for his time.
I can still
He wants a gold piece an hour.
In addition to the 16 that is the
16 is just material components
Okay.
for like actually getting this done.
Okay.
But he'll spend the time with you if you want.
He's charging you how much?
3 gold on top of the materials. Yeah.
That's generous.
For him, it's like good deal. Like,
Well, he's like a professor giving tutoring.
yeah, like if you were charging, like nuts for your tutoring, like that's like $100 an hour is what I would imagine it.
Yeah. Dude's like, yeah, I'm not gonna cast freaking lightning bolt today. Sure, I'll use a spell slot.
Oh, and if I
And he doesn't even have to. He just has to talk about it.
Are you kidding me?
He just has to
Absolutely.
explain like what it's like to cast a spell.
Oh my gosh.
So like, have you like seen Avatar: The Last Airbender? So like,
Alright. I will attempt to learn this spell.
Let's do it. Oh,
Roll a 2. This does feel hero pointable. It's already marked off from last week.
Hero
so
pointed.
We're gonna give it a shot.
let's do it. That's much
12
better.
Yeah. Well, so 26.
26 is plenty. Not a critical success, but a success.
We take it. Yeah. So and yeah, if you critical succeed on it, you only spend half the materials. So
Yeah.
I'm
I
gonna save 8
assume
gold.
it was
but
something like that.
pretty cool. Okay, so all of that cost me 19 gold, so I'm now down to 11 gold. But lightning bolt is a must build. Yeah.
Yay.
Can't wait to hit somebody with a sword, and then a lightning bolt goes for 120 feet past it.
That does leave you all with a couple hours to kill.
well, I will almost certainly copy the weapon potency rune into my book, +1 for 2 gold. Just give myself some baseline crafting recipes.
I feel like we've gained enough time between feeling like we came away ahead of the curve in Drellin's Ferry and aren't taking the 6-day detour to the dwarves, that spending some time on some stuff like this before we head north is probably worth it. When we're talking a matter of hours, not a matter of days.
You so you're copying the armor potency to your schematics?
Right now, I'm doing the weapon potency rune.
Or the weapon.
You guys said we didn't want to do the armor one.
Well,
we had to pay for components for the armor one, right? Even if you can craft it, we would need 160 gold worth of components.
To make it, yeah.
gotcha.
Just take a day off. But that means that I can spend that day transferring a different rune. Or crafting something else.
I mean, if we only have 1 more hour, because you're gonna spend an hour copying the armor one, right?
The weapon one?
I keep saying yes. Correct.
Yes, well, because, I mean, if you guys still want me to instead do the armor one, I'll do that. But since you guys said, because I didn't want to spend the 8 gold out of my pocket.
I'll spend the 8 gold.
Okay, then do I have another hour on top of that, or no?
We have 2 hours, you
Okay,
said,
then-
right? So
Yeah,
you
well-
can do each one of them.
Yeah.
Or actually, we'll spend our cumulative 6 gold, and I'll put an extra 2 from the gam. It'll be paid for by the gambling.
Fair enough.
And I mean, while he's doing that, we'll find a tavern, and I will find somewhere to gamble.
The taverns here could not be more different than what you found in the
Yeah,
Cross-Eyed
they're
Beholder. The taverns here are like all just someone's house that's
Yeah.
been gutted and a bar stuck in. So they're all small, like hole-in-the-wall places. Some of them are fine, like well-stocked and, pleasant bartenders, but there are no like big bars, big establishments. The closest, there are some inns, but they are mostly like there for feeding and housing people, not for drinking.
Okay. I'm just looking for somewhere to gamble.
Is,
It takes you some time, but you can absolutely find a place for sure.
Okay.
there is, I guess, while we were at that person, the person I guess who was selling I assume they had some sort of magical goods store or.
Yeah.
Does anyone have an archaic wayfinder there by any chance?
We can look.
I would love that.
Oh, that's for Tor.
That was for me.
Oh. Does Tor have? Oh, yeah. There's a thing that I'm gonna look up because I don't have it on my other character.
I think it's the archaic wayfinder. It's the one that can hold a cantrip. It's the one that I want.
Ooh. Oh, it's possible. We'll give it a shot.
Does Caleb have
Crazier things have happened today.
a gate attenuator?
He does.
Okay. Seemed like a reasonable thing to shop for him.
No luck on the Wayfinder here.
Fortunate. Worth a try.
Sure.
So after I asked Shadowsteel that question, it just felt like it hummed or vibrated a little bit, but nothing else.
That's it. And almost felt like a tuning fork in your hands. I don't know if your character knows what a tuning fork is, but like you, Kevin, kind of knows what that is. So that's sort of what it feels like. Right now, what does Shadowsteel? What do you know of Shadowsteel? What have you found out?
The extent of what I know of Shadowsteel, you sent me, so I'll pull that up to be sure.
Okay, just making sure. I wasn't quite sure where we got there.
Currently, it is a +1 striking cold iron short sword that deals 1 extra cold damage on each strike, or 2 cold damage against creatures that are huge or huger.
Okay.
And then you mentioned the leveling up bond thing.
Mhm.
It's pronounced hugerist.
What do I know about cold iron? Is that like good against like holy creatures?
Fae
Fae makes sense
And
for sure.
demons.
and demons.
Yeah, the chaotic end of the spectrum.
Yeah,
And
that's
silver's
Yeah.
good against
demons.
devils and like werewolf type creatures.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, shape changers.
That's so because I have that. It's a cold iron sword. I have a chunk of silver in my pocket so that I can do both with needle darts because you
Oh,
get the
nice.
properties.
Cool.
When you do that.
Very nice.
That was why I was trying to ask that dude for like, oh, do you have a, not an adamantine sword, but like even just a small pebble of adamantine to like use it for that spell.
Oh, right, I remember that. Yeah, easier said than done there. So you're gambling.
Yep.
The rest of you are going about your business. I know originally your goal was to get to Witchcross
Yeah.
today. That may now be difficult.
Yeah.
Perhaps if you were able to stay on the Dawnway, but you're going to have to cross the river and leave the Dawnway to a more traditional road.
It seems like we'll probably just stay the night here.
Well,
It's pretty early, isn't
what
it?
time?
It's like
What time is it?
You are probably 3/4 of the way through your adventuring day or your travel day. So it's afternoon, middle afternoon. It's probably, you could get to Witchcross, but it would be late after the sun has set.
What do I know of Witchcross compared to Talar?
Witchcross is a little more abundant, let's say, because of its nearness to Brindle, but it is also not on the Dawnway, so it's not nearly as popular with trade. It is sort of a nature commune. The people there are quite. They feel connected to the Witchwood, and they feel like they are a part of that, and they treat the animals and game there with care. I think historically you'd probably have avoided it.
Yeah.
Not because they were unkind to you or anything, but just because they don't accept bounties, they don't sell or trade in pelts. They don't.
There wouldn't have been much purpose for
Yeah.
me to go there.
I remember specifically what I talked about where I came from is I would have passed through Wishcroft and
Yes.
gotten along very well with
Yes.
the people
Yeah.
there.
Yes, you would have gotten along just swell with them.
Yeah.
They are kind. They like travelers.
Mm-hmm.
To some, it can feel as if the sort of what's the word I'm looking for? Like the services of the town are a little bit backwards. Many of the townsfolk sleep outside. Many of their dwellings are like yurts or huts or lean-tos, big lean-tos, but still lean-tos, and so travelers sometimes feel like a little bit put out. They don't want to. They did not travel, all this way to sleep under a lean-to. They wanted a more traditional building, but the services they offer are still sort of equal to what you'd expect in any small village or any small town. It's they have taverns, they have places to stay, they have stables, just not sort of what you'd imagine from a normal sort of medieval era town. But yeah, it's up to you. You'd have no trouble staying here for the night if you want to stay.
Might as well.
I mean,
It would give you time to finish the transfer.
start the transfer.
Start the transfer, yeah.
You tend to start the transfer.
Yeah. I can do that.
Alright. I
Yeah,
should
I guess-
swap to my non-upgrade armor.
Yeah, if we're going to finish the day here, then not to make you rehash all of the runes, was Ghost Touch among the
It was.
ones?
There was one.
Good.
The Ghostbuster.
I want to, if the proprietor will allow me to, I just want to sort of see the rune. I just want to touch it to Shadow Steel.
You feel that same vibration. That's sort of. It's almost discordant. It feels like it's not in tune almost.
And now I'm like, oh well, if I get it professionally applied, will it be in tune, or is this just the sign that is just never gonna work with it?
Maybe it has its own property runes.
He did say it evolves.
Yeah. I will thank him for his time, and I will not purchase the Ghost Touch rune.
Okay.
And my last mini mission that I'm skeptical would be that I'll find what I'm looking for. But I will hit up some of the armorers and smiths and see if anybody has just a little tiny sampling of adamantine.
What does this do for you? Yeah.
I can use it for my one ranged cantrip that I have, needle darts,
Oh,
and it applies the
that's cool.
the type to the head.
Let me just make sure this isn't rarer than I thought it was.
That sounds like you may have succeeded.
Yeah, sounds good. That's a good sign.
Oh, it's more rare than I thought it was.
Oh.
That makes sense. It's what, I almost wasn't sure if it's worth trying, right? Have I seen an adamantine sword in my 56 years of being alive? I don't know. It's certainly possible, but
Well,
I'm not sure.
You may have. It's possible that someone in Brindle owns one. It would be at minimum item level 11 for a weapon.
No, I'm not talking. I'm not talking like an adamantine sword. I literally.
No. I mean, like in terms of you having seen someone wielding one.
Oh,
like,
okay, I gotcha.
A chunk of adamantine large enough to use in crafting is a level 8 item. So we're still talking probably for what you're looking for, like in the 5 to 6 range.
Okay.
So not impossible, but we did not roll quite well enough to find one.
Fair enough.
Just show 100.
Yeah. We wasted the good roll on.
Wasted.
Whoa, hey.
I mean, it's a waste. We don't know what it is.
I also
so
stole
it's
the
a
sword
waste.
from you, so.
I'll take this. I'll just remove the adamantine dust from my inventory. Then I guess. Fine. I don't want to make it more.
What are you doing? I'm crafting this dust into a small ball of adamantine. That's it.
That's the
That's
recipe.
what I was looking for. That's the recipe I was looking for. You got me. I'm giving it away now.
Please smelt together this silver, cold iron, and adamantine so that it just has the properties of all of them at the same time. I don't know what you are, but you're not going to resist this damage.
I'm a ghost. Fuck.
Shit. I should have got the ghost
That's
touch
not
rune. Nah, it's okay. That's if I don't get a staff in the next couple levels, my level 8 class thing is runic impression, which you can temporarily replicate the effects of a property rune for your weapon or unarmed attacks. You learn a conflux spell that lets you make it flaming and other stuff.
It takes you 2 days to transfer. One day.
Is there anything else in the
I don't understand why.
Work
anything
through
else
the
in,
night.
like the magical goods store? Like any interesting potions or items?
They would have any common potion of level 3 and below.
Okay.
I know the text for the treasure room is so
Any
confusing.
gear?
Well, what kind of gear?
Anything magical.
I think it's probably mostly just the
Rings, bracelets.
rings, scrolls, potions. Those are mostly what I was thinking of.
Scrolls would be similar to potions in that level 3 and below they'd have at least one of.
Excuse me. We're both gonna have to live with it.
I failed that check. Trench the room. It's level 2 item, right? Yeah, I could fail it.
Save a hero point.
I don't know if I'm wasting it on that. Not until I tell us at the end of the session. But I don't roll it anyway. I would need to roll a 5 or lower to fail. So 100% chance to fail. But I only have a 1% chance to critically fail, or a 5% chance to critically fail. And so, yeah.
Anything else for the town?
If there's not time for this, that's totally reasonable. But I would try and learn one more spell if I could.
Okay.
Blur is the second level one. A little easier, hopefully a little more common. It's a common spell.
Oh yeah, you can find someone with blur for sure.
Cool.
Same
So-
thing. One gold per level.
Cool. Can do. Here we go.
DC's lower.
It is, but it's 18 and not 17, which is what I rolled.
Oh no. No blur for you.
No blur for me.
can't
I can't even attempt to
try
learn it
again.
again. It's for a
A
level.
level. It's such bullshit, man.
That's
That is
crazy.
kind of bullshit.
I had the same.
But I don't expend the material, so I'm only out 2 gold for that guy's time.
I had the same problem with COVID. I tried to get scroll to win all.
The first roll, the other one's a 2. The roll on this one's a 3. Like I don't have to roll that well. I just need to not bottom out.
I'll buy no scroll of true strength, by the way.
Okay.
There will be no scrolls of true strength left in the kingdom.
Yeah.
Tragic.
Step 1, core of the market on Drew String Scrolls. Step 2, sell them. Step 3, profit.
And
Man. That's gonna annoy me.
can I buy a mirror image scroll too?
If it's common and
Yeah.
less than level 3, then yeah.
Okay. Then I'll grab that too.
Excuse me. I have a question.
Okay.
What are the odds that there are? It's helpful to have the thing in front of you when you're asking what are the odds in it. What did I do? Arboreal boots. Never mind. They're even worse than boots of Elvenkind in terms of price
Ah.
point. Never mind. Unless this gambling turns into the greatest heist ever. I'm good.
Okay.
I will assist him in transferring my armor rune when I am done gambling.
I don't roll today for what that's worth.
Doesn't change the fact that I will assist you in any way that you need it.
Okay. Ugh, 3,000 gold. Fuck.
I'm good.
I'm good too. We all good?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Next tog.
Next Tog.
Yep.
German.
What does that say? What does that mean?
Day.
Next day.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
Um,
It's Freitag.
I don't know why I cannot find this. I feel like ever since the remaster, there are some rules that I just cannot find anymore.
start transferring.
I also wrote that.
Our posing room, right?
Yep. From +1 breastplate to studded leather.
Wait, there's this thing. There's a greater eye slash, by the way.
I know. I just didn't assume that I could just go to
8
somebody.
times as far.
I didn't assume I could go to somebody in town and be like, hey,
Hey, cut up my eyes for me.
can you help with my tattoos a bit more?
I need,
Who's
I
that
need
over
a little more flair to the wings out here. Can you?
Honestly, I can only see these big flying creatures a little bit sometimes in the distance. Would have been great if I could see all of them. It's only level 4.
Eventually. Who's that over there? Oh, that's the back of my own head. My visibility is crazy good today.
What does this one do that's any different from the one that I already have? It's just for the +1 perception. Is it an extra 80 gold for +1 perception?
That's probably pretty good. I mean, it's also +1 on your initiative checks.
That's true.
30 gold?
Let me specify. Is +1 item bonus to perception checks that involve sight.
I mean, a lot of initiative.
It's
from having
100.
this
It's
offside.
100 gold.
It's exact, but yeah.
Or I could get an extendable tail.
Extendable tail?
I didn't even read the item. I just saw that it's in the list. I just can't imagine that we can't find a
Wants
better
to be a
use
cat girl.
for 100 gold than for me to get a +1 bonus to perception checks that involve sight.
Okay, so you guys rest for the evening, right?
Yeah.
It's been I spent another 4 hours to craft, and that's the late.
Yep.
I'll start the transfer.
Okay.
And I've switched to be wearing just studded leather whilst he is transferring progress. Because I assume that I would not be able to wear the thing he is transferring from while this is being worked on.
Correct.
We planned in advance. I'm carrying 3 sets of armor during this time. Praise the saddlebags.
the two, the from, and the in between.
Yep.
Okay, so you guys rest. You all rest pretty well. The bustle of the town doesn't seem to affect you too much. Even you, Rex, who maybe prefers not to sleep in a busy tavern or busy inn, sleep well. The exception is with
Davian.
with Davian. You
Talk to the sword.
dream of as you sort of fall asleep, you can feel your heart begin to race faster and faster until its beats sort of remind you of the vibration of the sword earlier in the day. And as they sort of twin in harmony, that sort of vibratory tone, you kind of start to understand it as almost as a language, as much as a sound, as a vibration. And what you begin to understand sort of intuitively, without even really thinking through or translating it into common or whatever, into your spoken language, is that it's asking a question. It's asking what you want of it. And in response, you feel like you're not really able to speak to it, but you might be able to send it, to share with it an image, an idea, an emotion. Do you respond?
Yes.
He sends it the perplexed emotion.
Yeah.
He wakes up, the sword's just a curved blade now.
It's a question mark blade.
No, it's a scimitar, I swear. Man, that's a question mark. You're killing people with a question mark.
Right, Riddler.
What, my sarcastic comment is, what emotion is a plus 2 strafing rune?
Boonga boonga hit harder. Davian's not in touch with his emotions.
Yeah, really.
What's the name of the sword?
So I guess it's not exactly
Steel
Shadow Steel.
Shadow Steel.
The song's called Shadow of the Sun.
So I guess it's not. I don't know how to translate the thoughts that I'm having into a corresponding emotion.
The agnostic.
So I guess the not technically emotion that I send, I guess, is curiosity.
Okay.
I'm not even sure what to ask it to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, things flash through my mind, right? I I can make my sword light on fire or crackle with electricity depending on the spells that I cast. But like, so in imagining, what could it do, right? Like I imagine it just massively on fire, or just like any of the effects that I can do just amplified, or even thinking about a universe where I could, spell strike more or cast more spell. I don't know. Like there's a ton of ideas, and neither I nor Davian know precisely what to ask of it.
Okay. It responds, and it almost seems like the vibrations of the weapon gain a little bit of clarity. They become a little bit less discordant. And you see an image of yourself, sword in hand, and it's almost like a give and take. Like the sword grasps your hand almost, instead of the other way around, like it's attaching itself to you, and then it sort of asks, sort of for what's to come, like what you intend to do with that blade in your hand. It all in images, and so you're welcome to imagine something sort of as a reply if you'd like.
Yeah, I guess the images that come to mind are mostly hobgoblin and hobgoblin adjacent.
Okay.
But just imagining carving through swaths of them, or some of their stronger generals and leaders that are going to be mages, and still being able to slay them and live to tell the tale. So I guess the one that amounts to a memory more than an imagination is Koth, and thinking about him and what he represents. And
I can imagine you are like catch his lightning bolt on your sword and deflect it back at him. Just because that sounds cool.
The sword seems to take your memory, but it shrinks. It shrinks it back down, away from Koth, just to you and the sword. Almost as to ask, almost as to focus your connection, the two of you together. It doesn't do this in the form of a question or anything. It just sort of, it seems to focus on you. And you wake, sort of with that in your mind. You also, as you wake, you feel almost as if a moment before you awoke, the weapon was humming, and it is in your hand, even though you did not draw it when you went to bed.
Interesting.
Yeah. Do you do anything? I guess with that information?
No.
Okay.
I'm going to be a bit puzzled that I'm now holding my sword that I most certainly did not take to bed with me. Yeah, and just kind of ponder that connection.
Okay.
Imagine you're sleeping in the same room as Tor, and he says, "Do you always sleep with your sword? Is it like teddy bear for you?"
Yep. Yeah, it's a
Very comfortable.
habit. I say very obviously lying.
Never done this before. Well, you
Seems a bit unsafe.
ready yourselves for more travel, I assume.
Mhm.
Crossing the Elseer is trivial. They have a bridge built here, small but functional bridge built here. The Elseer is much more narrow here than it is at Terrelton's Ferry. And the path to Witchcross is identified more than anything just by increasingly dense undergrowth closer and closer to the road, the closer you get to Witchcross. It seems as though it draws you in narrower and narrower until it actually forms sort of like a canopy around you. The trees sort of stretch their arms over and form a tunnel for the last mile or so into town. Otherwise, I mean, the travel is unremarkable. Perhaps if you're interested in the local flora, it's a little more interesting. But the village of Witchcross is sort of spread out, a series of the cabins that are enclosed have moss-covered roofs or grass-covered roofs. The lean-tos are all sort of seem like they're built into the various hilly terrain of the town. But there are many people traveling through. Actually, an odd number of people. You especially, who's been here probably most recently, notice that the population is double or triple what you remember when you last passed through. Anything you want to do in Witchcross?
How long did it take us to get to Witchcross?
Let's see. So it took you about 2/3 of your travel for the day. About 5 hours.
And let's see. So we're right by the river.
Look around. Anybody know somebody here that'd be worth asking about what's going on just north of the town on the rest trail?
Might know a person.
Unfortunately, the Witchcross is not a place that my sheet of background notes from Zach includes.
Likewise, who's Zach?
No, I think this was the one I specifically mentioned, probably spending the most time in or close to it. So I think I would, at least I guess I would know someone, maybe one of the tavern owners,
I think you would.
I'm entitled to know
or somebody.
two sentences.
I think you would probably know one of.
Or if there was someone who was similarly interested in magic or.
Yeah, I suspect you would probably know perhaps one of the shopkeepers, if no one else. The tavern keeper here would have seen too many people, I think, to remember.
Right.
But I think if there's anyone that you were bound to sort of strike up conversation with, it was probably an elf who tends to sell and trade in a lot of magic materials for spellcasting, among a lot of other things. But his name is Barchel.
So when I ask this question, it's mostly going to be looking at these two, and then I'd be like, "You guys know anybody?" And then when Runar speaks up and says that he knows somebody, I'm just going to look at him and be like, "Okay, but seriously, does anybody know somebody here?"
Here's my tour. I know the four of you.
You bastard.
I rarely come. I've ever been this far north.
Easy. Less south.
What do I know about this family that apparently runs this place?
What?
What do I know about this family that runs this place?
Which cross?
Oh, did I?
You gave me like 2 sentences, and that's one of them.
Oh, interesting. Interesting. Hold on. I didn't realize I told you that.
Neither did I until I just read it. I basically only know their name and one word that describes. Well, let's give it that.
Oh wait, let me. What did I send you?
I'll send it to you.
Yeah.
I need to get the non-free Slack because it gates all of my messages after 90 days.
Yeah, it's miserable.
Unfortunately, it's not on an individual purchase basis.
It's ludicrously expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
pin
if
stuff,
you
that's
pin it,
important.
yeah, you can sort of keep it that way.
Right.
Oh, that's Elser Cross, not Witch Cross.
I'm an idiot.
I was gonna say, like, I don't remember.
I too have notes on Elser Cross.
Oh my god, I feel like an idiot.
And
Okay.
not Witch Cross. Yeah, how could you possibly mix those two up?
Yeah.
I don't even see the overlap.
I also know about Elsia Cross and not which cross.
Okay.
This cross.
I see. That's good. Yeah. Okay. Looking at the map of the Witchwood, there's only one place labeled with the cross.
Yeah.
But on this, there's Witch Cross is also labeled.
I see.
Yeah.
But I've already said it once, so I'm just gonna start walking towards where I know Barchel is.
Okay.
Well, I imagine when I was here, I also gave him, if he was interested, I would have gave him a harrowing reading. 'Cause he's if he was interested.
I think probably he would have accepted that.
Yeah. 'Cause
Yeah.
There's a few people I would have done it, and I feel like someone like this who deals in magical goods and lives in a town that's a bit different
Yeah.
would be interested in that.
Yeah.
I guess we're relying on Lunar.
I guess so.
Yeah, you have to stride off after not saying an additional word.
So yeah, Barchel, he has like a I don't know what I would call it. It's like a big open air like dwelling. It has like no walls, but it has like a thatched mossy like roof for rain. And there are just like herbs and plants hanging everywhere, like from every rafter, every branch has like tons and tons of these. And in front, like next, like sort of facing the town, he sells them. He trades and sells them. So he has like little display stands of all these herbs and poultices and healing things or whatever. And he literally just lives in this little space. He's got like a bedroll that he sleeps on, and he's got like a fire where he smokes and tends to some of the herbs. And he recognizes you when you approach and asks, or welcomes you back and asks how he can help.
How's your luck been since the last time we met?
Well, no offense meant, but it hasn't been the best.
Could be worse, trust me.
Yes, I think our neighbors to the north have encountered that issue already. I assume that's why you're back in town? Looking for trouble?
Of course. Not very difficult to find it. I have a talent for it.
Well, I prefer Witchcross to stay well away from trouble. It seems as though I have not been so lucky, but perhaps you can see to it on our behalf.
When have all these people started coming here?
I assume you've heard the news about the unwanted neighbors to the north, our hobgoblin friends. They have been waylaying travelers. So many of these folks here came to the town injured from attacks and stayed. Others waiting to go north and have been waiting for some time. The news from Brindle is that we are to fall back, leave the town, but I don't expect that will happen anytime soon.
May happen sooner than you think.
Well, I don't mean to say that we won't be forced to leave the town, but I think my friends and I are more likely to flee into the Witchwood than into Brindle. I don't think that's a place for us.
I understand. I understand the Witchwood quite well. People here.
Not free of its dangers either, of course, but I like my chances there better than I do in the busy streets of Brindle.
Do you know how far north these obstructions have been? How many miles north could we expect trouble on the road?
Of those injured that we've tended to, almost all of them come a full day's ride from the north. Now, there have been sightings closer to home, but ever since the news started to spread, there have been fewer and fewer people willing to venture out, and there's been no one coming from the north anymore.
Any idea how far have you ventured towards Old Rest before, the capital?
I've been to the swamp land before, but I've never been to the ruins of the city or anything like that.
Can you imagine any reason why they might be interested, these hobgoblins? What could be there?
In Rest? I can't imagine. Yeah, there is a small settlement of my people there, but only in the vicinity. Even they do not travel that deep into the swamp. There's no purpose. There's no game and nothing else to be found there.
Where exactly is the settlement of your people?
It's not
Not yours to share?
not my news to share. However, if you spend enough time in the area, it is likely that they will find you.
And
Challenge accepted.
is there any way that you could give me some sort of token or that would let your people know that I'm not someone looking to cause trouble with them, but looking to cause trouble with goblins. I'd rather make friends than make enemies by some unfortunate accident. Don't want any.
I appreciate your sentiment, but it may be hard to understand, but I believe such a token would do you more harm than good.
I see.
Make a diplomacy check.
I personally would like to, if possible, make a perception check of if he is indicating that if it seems like he says that in the aspect that he's on bad terms.
Ooh,
with them,
okay.
Or if he's saying that just as like a,
Yeah,
that won't do you any good.
yeah. Roll your diplomacy. What was your...
It's
Or roll
13.
your
It's
perception.
13.
13?
Yeah.
26. Counted them myself.
Wow. 13's not enough for you to get a good feeling of whether you could change, or what. It is not enough for you to push him a little into an uncomfortable place in terms of sharing information. The interaction that you encounter with Runar, however, does elucidate something quite clear, which is that it's clear to you that Barchel wants you to be on good terms with this group of elves if you were to encounter them. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Can be one of two things. It is bad that somebody tells you where they are, or he got in trouble with them at some point.
I'll appreciate your advice on that. What do you have for sale?
Oh, the usual. I do have some interesting hallucinogens. He has like this basket of mushrooms like that he has sort of behind his display. If you're interested. Perhaps not the best to partake before battle, but fun nonetheless.
Does he perchance have an archaic way back there? Can we roll for that?
Oh man.
He does not.
Yeah.
No, he does not.
That's alright.
I feel like if anyone was going to partake of hallucinogens, they are not here right now.
Yeah.
Also, it's right here. I'll give her permission for him to consume all hallucinogens he can find. It's crazy.
Who would have guessed?
How do you know? I'm not looking for anything that this guy's probably going to sell.
I would like to ask this guy one additional question too. So, if we were heading north and eventually going through the swamps to Old Rest, is there any point in bringing horses?
Only to the edge of the swamp. They will do you no good in the swamp.
How far is that?
From here?
Just to the edge, yeah.
Oh, 2 days ride?
So a lot longer walk.
We can hire someone to take the horses back. Take care of them.
The
That feels like a thing we could probably hire someone to do.
They have to come with us.
So, yeah, they come with us to the edge of the forest and then be like, and now take our 5 horses back. Or 4 horses back, because I assume Felru's not gonna not come with us.
Yeah, he's coming with us. One way or another.
the there's the outlying plains and forests around the swamps could certainly hide your horses if that's what you're worried about. Of course, nothing's guaranteed these days. It is not without risk.
Mm-hmm.
Say it again. What? There's places to hide the horses.
I mean, there is much forest and plain around the swamps,
So it probably makes sense to.
but apart from perhaps the tribes that live deep in the swamps, the small folks, the lizard folk and the like, I don't know of anything outside of the swamp apart from this recent incursion of hobgoblins that would pose a danger to the horses.
What do you think of the lizard folk? Unlikely to be friendly.
I don't know. I have never myself been that deep within the Blackfens. They are solitary creatures in terms of their relations with other ancestries. Perhaps, if approached in the right way. Do any of you speak? Well, to be honest, I don't even know what languages those creatures speak, but perhaps if you share language, it might help. But
Parcel tongue.
Draconic. Maybe. Okay. Don't know anything else about the lay of the land.
So do we feel like we need a guide to help us to tie us across faster? Not us across. What's in the capital?
The edge of the
Rest.
swamp.
rest.
We need to learn Dreams of the Blue Veil, I believe, to get to Ice Cross.
Do you know of any guides that could help us on our way to Old Rest?
Oh. Goodness. If you're looking for a guide, you would benefit in all likelihood from speaking to the elves of the North Witchwood there. Again, spend enough time there, make camp. I suspect they'll find you. They're the only ones I know who live anywhere close. Certainly no one here would travel that far north. At least not into the swamp. I mean, we have traders that take the road north past the swamp. But
Notice how he scoffs. I was like, that's how he scoffs at me for saying too far north, not this guy.
Northerners.
I know, right?
Well, it seems like might need to try and find your people. Appreciate your help with this.
yeah, best of luck.
Is there anything we should avoid or be sure to do when we encounter them?
Aside from not kill them.
Treat them with respect. The usual.
Why don't you make a diplomacy check?
Yeah.
Okay.
Guidance.
So this is +1.
Yeah.
22.
Oh, that's not bad. He thinks for a long time, sort of trying to consider what is and is not right in the situation to say. And after a while, he says, my cousins in the forest there, they believe highly in first impressions. Do not waste yours.
Understood. How do they feel about gifts?
He shrugs.
Okay. Alright. Well, to his cousins.
Yeah, I suppose so. I mean, we take the rest trail up, and then once we hit swampland, we'll
Yep.
head there.
So basically, it's like if we're thinking about the map, like
Yep.
basically what he describes as the elves are. He didn't say it, but they're probably around here. He said North Witchwood, I believe.
He did say that.
Let us slip. So like this is probably where we would want to get off the trail.
We'll hug the northern edge.
That's what I'm thinking. Because then we don't have to
Okay.
go through as much swamp too. It's like
And we get to kill some hobgoblins blocking the road.
yep.
Hobble gobble.
Like killing hobgoblins.
So that's what I think. That's what I figure is we follow the rest trail. Then sort of here we cut into.
Unless we encounter too much resistance.
That
we
was
cut
my
early.
intention.
Yep. I like it. I feel more comfortable in the Witchwood than I do in the swamps. Not gonna lie. They're hydras in swamps. We have a lot of reactions.
Interactions,
Oh.
attacks.
They can be shocked and surprised at the same time. So many reactions.
Yeah.
And alert.
So you
Um,
if you go now, you can spend the rest of the day heading north. You will not reach
the edge.
the edge of the Witchwood.
The northern edge of the Witchwood.
Yeah. You won't.
But we reached enough of it that we could move into it to camp for the night.
Yeah, absolutely. The Witchwood kind of hugs most of this road north.
So before we do that, 2 questions. First of all, how fast is Felru?
35.
Because we only move as fast as our slowest.
Mm-hmm.
He's Beller is 5 feet slower than yours.
Yeah, my horse is 5 feet slower than me. Yup.
Yep.
When in exploration, Scout
Oh,
gives me plus 20
Jesus. Okay.
feet, so I can
That's
go
nuts.
ahead of you guys and scout ahead,
Oh, that's cool.
and I can
Yeah.
get back to you fast, which is what I'm going to do. So unless we bring
What-
somebody to return our horses, I'm going to leave my horse here.
What gives you that?
Scout speed.
Huh. Okay. My other character is scouting lore. I was hoping that's what it did for him.
Yes.
No.
It makes me very fast.
It's from
I read this
the
book and I'm really
Hey, if you know how to traverse campaign, your exploration speed could be faster.
it's from the Scout dedication.
I see.
That's awesome.
I was once dedicated to a scout.
What happened?
He died.
Oh.
The relationship turned stony.
It was really on the rocks for a while.
Yeah.
So, are you guys resting in the forest, or what is your plan for?
Did he have any potions, by the way, or is it just mushrooms? Or anything like any sort of potions? Or...
He would have had maybe level 1 potions.
Okay.
Common level 1 potions.
How much are those? How many are
I don't know if it depends on
But last year,
the specific potions.
Some
like
of them are
4
quite
gold.
big. The last
Want your strongest potion? These potion master. How it goes.
Potion seller.
Potion seller.
Potion seller. Potion seller.
I wouldn't even want
I need your
36
strongest
presents.
potion.
That's so many things. That's so many things.
4 GP.
Presents?
Yeah.
4 gold for a
We're joking
healing
about
potion minor.
Deadly Jersey.
That's a level 1 item. Is that what
But
he has?
last year,
Say that again?
4 gold for a healing potion minor.
Yeah, yep,
That's a level
correct.
I'd struggle to fill like
I mean, I would buy
a list of things.
I would buy
want.
2 of those
Yeah, that's
if
what
he
I-
has stock.
Yeah, he does.
Shit, I got 3 PlayStations.
I will buy
them.
I'm trading two. I'm selling 2 of them back so I can buy some games.
Can I buy a potion of shared memories?
I can make. I damn it. That's one of the 3 things I picked to buy. For
Oh, you
craft
can make
feat.
it?
Mhm. That's why it's one of the 3 things I picked that I can make as I pick the feat.
Does it cost you the same as the price, or can you make it for less than cost?
I can make it for less than cost if I spend extra days making it.
I'm gonna buy one.
Does he have one?
If he has one, it's a level 1 potion.
Okay. Well,
That's it for me.
you make some purchases before you leave.
Did he have that potion?
Yeah, if it's common in level 1, they do.
Okay.
Yeah.
It seems very useful for what we're trying to convince people of what's happening. why I added it.
Smart. I'm going to hand my horse's reins to Redrick
Do you have...
because
No, probably.
because of the fact that I mean it's still a useful back horse.
You might need it in combat. Makes sense.
Yep.
Does anyone else have, out of curiosity, does anyone have, besides you, have decent, like, some nature skill at all? You do? Okay. Because handling an animal is based in nature, the nature skill, so.
I'm also respectable at it.
Okay, so we all have it a little bit. That's funny.
Yeah,
So I
pretty
can
good.
identify all of the spells.
I literally have to, because that's how, because it didn't make sense for me to have an animal companion and not know how to handle an animal.
Yeah.
So like I should have nature.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Some things are just flavorfully necessary.
Yeah.
I have recognized spell, and to be able to roll decently for literally anything thrown at us, I have
Gotcha. Nice.
trained each of the 4 relevant skills.
Okay. Yeah. So we guess we had to that point.
Yeah.
Are
Well, we can't make it up there
No.
this day, so,
So I think
we
we-
head as far as we can get.
Yeah.
We moved fast today, for sure. But I wonder.
Yeah, you moved right through Witchcross. You didn't spend a ton of time in
Yeah.
Witchcross, and then you went out of town. You did notice several people warned you as you left, just like not to go. Like you just really should not be doing this. And then kind of shake their head at you as you continue anyway.
Let's hope we know what we're getting ourselves into here.
Don't worry, I prepped 2 fireballs today.
You head north until you just begin to notice the forest sort of diminishing to your west and giving way to plain and meadow.
For the sake of relevance,
Yes.
too, I do go ahead of the group.
Okay.
Because I can both see farther and move faster.
I will dispatch Eben as well,
Okay.
and have him also try and fly ahead and just keep an eye on, and then report back if.
How far ahead do you scout? Do you have Eben follow him, or just kind of move ahead of you at a sort of certain distance?
No, I'd have him. Assuming you're just moving faster than us on the trail, and that's the extent of what you're really doing. Yeah, I would just have him trail you.
Yeah. I would say... I'm trying to do quick math in my head. So I see 4 times further. So I would probably go far enough ahead I could still see them. They probably, assuming that this is level terrain for the most part,
It is.
which I assume it is based on the fact that we're going to approach plains. I'd like to be able to still see them behind me.
Okay.
That's probably reasonable. I mean,
Okay.
that's still pretty far ahead of them, I think, but it's not crazy.
As you get...
And I am trying. I'm not moving in stealth because I wouldn't be, faster, but I am, probably hugging the Witchwood side of the, trail. Is it immediately difficult terrain if you're not on the trail?
No.
Then I would hug, to not be obviously one figure moving in the middle of the road. I would definitely hug the Witchwood
Okay.
while I'm going to try and be a little bit less noticeable.
Are you able to move normally while being stealthy? I can't remember.
Not yet.
Your things.
Not yet. I
As
don't
you
think.
as you sort of leave the Witchwood behind you, Eben turns and comes down, sort of flies past you, and returns to you. I forget. Can you converse with Eben?
No, it's like empathic
He
communication.
can he share pictures, or or just like concepts and feelings?
I assume more concepts and feelings.
Well, he will share danger, strangers, something along that line, or unknown, or something like that.
Say that horse.
And obviously you're tipped off as well. That's something
I
up
was
ahead.
gonna see if the fact that Evan
I think
flew down was obvious, which
I think to you it would have been quite clear that something's going on.
I was basically rolling for. If I rolled like a 1, where I would have just been like,
What a weird bird.
So I will
Silly bird.
at
That was
that
all- that was
point.
all given.
I would go into like full avoid notice.
Yeah.
So cut my speed a ton. And this is the aspect where, like, as long as I'm not passing within, as long as I'm not moving more than 5 feet, I don't even have to stealth check. They just can't see me. And I will move slightly into the Witchwood so that it becomes like I'm now in underbrush.
Yeah.
But still a view of the trail.
Okay. So as you move forward to investigate, what you find is that they seem to have cleverly placed something behind a sudden shift in elevation of the road. So the road, you notice underfoot, becomes quite rocky. The earth gives way to like harder packed earth and rock instead of like the soft soil of the meadow that you've traveled through for some time, or the forest for that matter. And what you find is there's like a bit of a steep drop off ahead of you. And as you kind of in hiding kind of peer over the drop off, you see that just close enough so that they would notice any unwary travelers just kind of cresting this hill only to find themselves in front of them. Someone has erected this palisade of logs that stretches nearly 100 feet across,
Oh my god.
left to right, and of course covers the road.
Yeah.
And obviously just completely blocking all passage. But there's also a 20-foot watchtower that stands in the middle of the palisade, and that's manned. There is a hobgoblin there at the top of it, and you would imagine it would be almost impossible not to be seen if you just weren't paying attention and walked over this sort of ridge in the road.
Gotcha. Okay. Do I just see the hobgoblin manning that tower, or do I see any other like goblins or an encampment or anything immediately?
You do not see anything else, anyone else move, any other movement, anyone else active or moving around here.
There's plains past this.
So they've kind of wedged the palisade in between two rocky outcroppings on either side. And they've certainly chosen this area for its sort of rockiness, and it's a little more bare.
Yep.
Looking beyond the palisade further north, you can see the road returns to sort of meadow and a little more healthy vegetation beyond.
Okay. I will start to double back
Okay.
then, so that I can. Yeah, I mean, I have quite a bit of time because I have insane distance vision.
Yeah, it's not like you're gonna risk them coming up over the ridge.
Yeah, so I'll start slowly back, and then once I'm confident that I wouldn't be able to be spotted by the watchtower,
Yeah.
I would just pop out and just run back towards where they're at
Easy.
on the road.
Yeah, so once once Eben sent that feeling, I would basically have all of us hustle and also hug the Witchwood
Okay.
and work
Well-
to catch headshot?
At this point, the Witchwood is behind you, so you've actually passed out beyond the Witchwood.
Oh, okay. So it's
Sort of right as you passed the Witchwood, that's when Evan came back and warned you.
gotcha.
How do we pass the witch?
No, we're past like this point.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought we couldn't make it there today.
This is the
The
next day.
second day. Which I actually forgot to mark.
So we're on day
14.
14.
You're right,
13.
13. Because we got to Witchcross and left on day 12.
Yeah. Okay. Where did I get off? This is gonna be annoying to fix.
So basically, this encampment is right where we were planning to cut left
Yes.
or cut west. Did it seem like when I was up there, someone could circumvent this wall by cutting into the Witchwood?
You could. Well, it would be into sort of the
The bog.
prairie.
Oh, okay. Right, not quite swamp yet.
Yeah, you're not in the swamp yet, and the thick trees of the Witchwood are behind you at this point. So
Got it.
it'd be hard to do it and not be seen. Like they've clearly planned this well. Like they
Yeah.
knew what they were doing. It's certainly possible. You could go a long way around,
Yeah.
and be out of sight, and then kind of go around, by like a mile or so. It's doable, but you suspect it would be unlikely that anyone knew what was happening before it was too late.
Yeah. And it's just a wall.
It looks like there is more substantial something behind the
Okay.
palisade that you saw.
Sure.
Yeah, it looks like like some sort of small outpost.
Okay.
Hastily constructed, it's mostly just trees stacked on end and
Yeah.
slapped together and buried in the earth. But yeah, it's more substantial than you would have expected. Clearly, someone other than the hobgoblins was helping them construct it.
Mm.
Someone other than the hobgoblins constructed the tower?
Someone helped them at least.
Yeah, it would have been really difficult for just hobgoblins to construct this so quickly.
Can I identify its craft? Well, I haven't seen it yet, never mind.
So this palisade is made of wood, you say?
That sounds like it could be both.
Yeah,
is
so
indeed.
when I do meet up with them, whenever that is, I'll fill them in. Yeah, so at one point, right when we get to basically where we were planning on cutting west, they've got a devious little trap set up. It's right where the road goes on a slight incline, and just past it, they've got some sort of outpost constructed. It's like 100 feet long. Blocks the whole road.
Sounds tedious.
Made out of wood.
Do we want...
They've also got someone in a watchtower. I mean, I could have probably shot him, but that feels like that would have maybe been a giveaway.
What was the watchtower made out of?
Wood.
Watchtower? Do we want to double back and head into the Witchwood so that we can A, not let them know we're coming, and B, maybe run into our friends to be?
Do that.
I guess it's potentially like I kind of want to fight them, but at the same time, I don't want them to send word that there's someone made it through the blockade and is heading north.
Well, I mean, they can't send word if we kill them all.
Yeah.
It's been-
Theoretically. Let's say I have a scouting party that comes
I was
back.
going to say, what sort of numbers did you see?
Couldn't see in. I only saw the guy in the watchtower. The rest of them are behind that wall.
Well, if we come from the north, I have a better idea.
I mean, I could go give it a better look, but I figured I'd let you guys know
I
first.
could also get a better look.
Oh, right.
Potentially.
Yeah. And so could Tor.
He can go invisible?
Yep.
Yeah. Have a good flyover too. That wouldn't really help us.
Yeah, so how... It's just for... Because I'm... How far from, the hill crest of the hill, how far away is the palisade? Asking in terms of
Maybe
traveling invisible for 10 minutes.
it's a couple 100 yards.
Okay.
Yeah, so you could easily get there.
I don't think you'd have any issue.
Okay. Especially because I can tailwind myself also.
Hmm.
Okay. So I think that is what I want to do.
Okay.
Um,
Well, let's get everybody up
Mm-hmm.
closer and at least to the edge of the Witchwood. And we'll dip into the Witchwood and you can head in, see what we're working with.
Okay. Yeah, so I will have Evan just, I don't know, soar pretty high up, safely up, but firmly within my mile radius in case I need to have him alert friends.
Yeah.
I will get ahead, before we even get up to this, I'll just get ahead of everybody again to post up to make sure that while they're getting closer and catching up, there's nobody that potentially can surprise us.
Okay.
And when I start getting closer to where I know they're set up, I will definitely just slow down and avoid notice, for sure.
Something you notice as you do this is you get another look at the place is that it looks as though they've also went through the trouble of removing cover from the side of the road. Now that you are closer, you can see there are definitely trees that have been cut.
Yeah.
And other places where it looks as though they're shallow divots where it looks like trees have been pulled from the ground.
Yeah.
And so you have a clear view of the palisade, and it seems that way because they wanted it to be free of cover.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's just a lot of, it's just weirdly, you notice now looking at it again, it's sort of weirdly empty.
It's
Terraformed.
engineered.
Yeah.
Before you guys leave, before you leave, I'm saying, watch out for traps in the road. They might have set up.
It's just this empty, perfect looking Donway. Or I guess it's not the Donway, but this standard trail, and then one random patch that's all leaves.
Oh no.
Yeah.
But it's actually a fake.
I was about to say, actually, to the left of it,
Yeah.
covered in dirt, is a spike trap.
Yeah.
So you go to walk around the leaves, and you just.
Idiot. Oh, God.
Got him. It's the fourth guy we got with that.
This is the kind of monsters I want to play.
Yeah.
We're there's a giant obvious trap in the middle of the road, but there's a guy that's under a blanket that
Yeah.
by the side of the road, ready to ambush you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, so you set up, you sort of posted up
Yep.
with good view. You're approaching invisibly.
Well, so I'm ahead, and until they catch up.
Okay, yeah.
And then I will lead them,
Okay.
and we'll presumably everyone will avoid notice just in case.
Yeah.
And we'll sneak into the Witchwood,
Okay.
and then he's gonna go invisible.
Okay. Yeah. This so far no problem.
Right.
You
Sounds right.
Tor probably goes too. Or-
Yeah, but I figured it's easy to just not include him in this
That's
stealth
true.
mission
Probably.
on the off chance that it could go wrong.
Yeah.
This
Fair
feels
enough.
reasonable enough to be and he's not here, so he's not
Yeah.
going to go along for
Yeah.
this.
That's fair.
yeah. You it does not you don't see any reaction from the
Although,
hobgoblin in the
He could
tower.
cast invisibility on me, and then I still have invisibility and a backup invisibility potion.
I don't think his works like that.
Oh, that's very possible.
No, I think it's
His invisibility
it's
is
just,
innate.
Ah, okay.
He can just do it every 10 minutes, right?
yeah. He can do
Basically indefinitely,
He can-
as long as it's exploration.
it's around
that's
your
insane.
body. Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
He
You
can't
can
do
do
it.
it in combat.
He can't what?
You can do it in combat.
But it goes on a 10-minute cooldown.
If you use it too frequently, using it again within 10
Permanently
minutes makes you
invisible.
concealed instead of invisible.
Yeah. So that's why I can't. It's not like you can go invisible once in combat.
Gotcha. All right. Well,
But
the good news is if I get delayed or need to investigate further, is I do have an invisibility potion to get more
Oh
time.
yeah, that's a good point.
Good. Safe.
Okay. So, you're casting invisibility on yourself.
Yes.
What are you doing from there?
I also have Tailwind active, so
Okay,
my-
so you're moving quick.
yeah. So it's just an extra 10 feet, but I guess if I'm moving carefully, then I'm only moving 20, because obviously I want to be quiet. I mean, I want to approach the palisade. Does it look like the palisade, like, encompasses this tower entirely, or is it just
Well,
the
it's-
wall in the front?
It's
How do
stone wall, right?
Yeah.
It's not like
it's
an
not.
encampment. It's a
The stone isn't totally impassable on either side. It's
Yeah.
not like a rock wall.
Yeah.
But it's rocky in a way that like you wouldn't be running past.
Yep.
You'd have to kind of climb over.
yeah.
Which you could do with invisibility easily if unless you're really pressed for time.
Gotcha.
But, yeah.
So I will. Yeah, I'll try and hop over the side of the palisade via one of the rock on the left side.
Okay.
Sure.
Closer.
Yeah.
So what you find as you kind of come around is that it's almost like the palisade's like almost like a long narrow building. So like the wooden walls go all the way around this like 10 or 15 foot deep building, so to speak. And so as you kind of come around the edge, what you notice two things. First, it's not super well built. There's no spot where you could slip inside, but you could clearly see into the building through the logs. And you see there are a bunch of hobgoblins in there. They all seem to be either sleeping or eating, or there's like there are fires burning that you can see inside, so it's lit.
This is lit.
And when you get close, you can also see there's a section that clearly opens in the middle of the palisade to let you through. It's near the tower, the tallest part, which is
Like
in the
a
center.
funky-looking gate kind
Yeah.
of thing.
Yep. It's basically, it just looks like logs that have been tilted the other way to like fall over properly. So you see a lot of hobgoblins, and you see a couple, and you recognize them right away. They're dressed exactly like the hobgoblin you 1v1'd in Drellin's Ferry the night of the council meeting.
Okay.
You see 2 or 3 of them in there. You recognize the armor they're wearing. And you also see huge creatures, like way, way too big to be a hobgoblin.
Talking like ogre Etten size huge, or just like bugbears as in extremely large goblinoids?
You know what? You probably know what an ogre looks like. I don't think that's unreasonable.
Yeah.
There are ogres in there.
Okay.
What do you mean by a lot?
Spookies and
Do we have an account estimate?
If only I had that cantrip.
Yeah.
God, it's such a meme, and
It
then
is
also
such a
like,
meme, yeah.
wow, that would be really useful in this moment.
Yeah.
I would love to know approximately exactly how many things there are.
You see at least a dozen in there.
A dozen ogres?
No, hobgoblins.
Okay.
Hobgoblins, yeah, no. You see at least 2 ogres, but
Okay.
no, not quite that bad.
Oh, we're so doing this.
How big is an ogre in comparison to an Etten?
Shorter,
Similar.
wider, but
Yeah.
still same 10 by 10.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever fought an ogre in.
Yeah, it was all giants
Well,
out of the
yeah.
abyss.
Yeah, there's Etten. Fought the troll, but no ogre.
Sounds like there's enough of them that we may not want to fight them all. Well, maybe.
Sounds like there's enough of them that we need to ambush them.
Or lure a few of them away before taking the rest of them.
That would also
I'm not
work
with
well.
you. I have a thought.
Fair enough.
I found like a really bad
I should yell.
image of this, but
yeah.
but is kind of like reflective of what it might look like. Just to give you an idea, because I feel like bad that I don't have a good piece of art for this.
I have some.
What for the palisade?
Yeah.
How it's structured? No, I think I have a decent idea.
I'm curious about the image anyway, but yeah, I same.
Hopefully, I don't show you this and you're like, oh, that was nothing like what I expected.
Is that from the back view?
No, this is like this isn't even really a picture of this exact thing. It's just sort of like a similar. Like they do not have any art of this in the actual location that it exists. It's just sort of like, oh, it looks sort of like this.
But like in this picture, the structure is at our side of the fence from our perspective.
So what Davian finds is that from above, it looks the same on both sides.
Okay.
Like there's a slightly larger central area.
I see.
That's a little bit deeper than the rest of it, and then has a roof on top, where the rest of it does not have a roof.
Okay.
Okay. Interesting. And so then the tower that we were talking, is the tower part of the structure in the center, or is it behind this wall?
It
As
is.
a separate structure.
So like, do you have a pen?
Marker.
So it's like,
Those are a little finicky. That's what I imagine.
so here's the doors, and this whole area has like a top to it that's 20 feet off the ground that hobgoblins are standing on.
Okay.
And there are doors, like ostensibly doors here too that go into the inside of the.
Okay, it's enclosed.
Yeah, but all of this is made out of just like vertical logs that are like next to each other. But there are no exits in any of these. It's just basically there as a wall.
Yep.
Okay. And then, so I guess the other then aside from the denizens of the wall, there's not like an encampment behind it or any further structures or any signs of other things aside from the numbers in the palisade that I've seen.
You see, they've like buried sharpened logs out toward away from the palisades, but you don't see any buildings, you don't see any guards or anything out and about.
Wait, so they have sharpened logs pointing north and south? Or just pointing south?
Just north. You don't see them until you come around the edge.
Okay, so the pointy ones are...
Not towards
Not
the
towards
veil.
us. They're trying to block people coming south. As much
Oh,
as
okay.
north.
Interesting.
More so. Maybe more so than north.
Could be related to lizard folk.
Question.
That was another question that I was going to ask. Now that we're heading up into the region that is lizard folk marked on here, what do I know about lizard folk,
Oh,
Yeah. Same.
if anything?
Roll a knowledge, a society check.
I'm rolling too.
Yeah.
Natural 20 for
Oh.
20.
Hey yo.
I'm not gonna roll it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna save this one.
Lesson in.
All right. Well,
Where was that when I was trying to learn Blur?
yeah.
It was there.
Missed one digit.
Okay, well, I'll tell you a little bit about them. Be thinking about what specific questions you might want to ask. So, they are basically, they are viewed by some ancestries as like cockroaches in a way. Like, they just survive. Like, no matter where they end up, they just sort of survive and multiply, and they just figure it out. And so you can often find lizard folk living in areas where no other ancestries might want to live. And they tend to do quite well. They're resilient. They are really patient. They are adaptable. They're not necessarily super smart. They tend to live in like villages, like groups of like-minded people until they can no longer tolerate each other. You know, until it becomes so sort of overpopulated that they can't do anymore. They're also generally pretty strong for their size, so they tend to like take over areas that don't have any predators or anything to fight them. So they tend to really thrive in places in lands where other ancestries kind of let them. But they're not great in terms of organizing on scales for like attacking or combat or war. So they tend to just run away or move out of areas that are threatened instead of try to fight like incomers. They're surprisingly quick, and they speak Draconic.
What is their general disposition towards non-lizard folk?
In areas where they are sharing space with other ancestries, it tends to be better. If they are isolated among themselves and only themselves, they're almost always going to be hostile.
Okay. And then I guess, like, am I aware of, known presence of lizard folk tribes up in this area? Is this random conjecture that's not even true as far as I'm aware that lizard folk up this way, or?
I think with your role, you certainly would have heard stories. You never would have seen them, but you would have heard stories of people encountering lizard folk in the marshes north of the Witchwood prior to any of the events of this campaign happening.
Okay. Cool. That is all I wanted to know.
You come back to us, you Splinter, selling further.
Splinter selling.
I mean, yeah. So on the other side of the palisade, then there's just nothing as far as I can see past it.
So even further in this direction, you see cut down trees, like stumps. You see trees ripped out of the earth. You see undergrowth hacked away to nothing and stamped down. So the visibility in north is pretty good, and it sort of stretches out until you can see it turn into grasslands and prairie. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
And he just sees 12. He sees a dozen foes approximately outside, but there could be
they're
inside.
Oh,
building.
inside the center.
Yeah.
Yeah, he hasn't been able to see into there yet. but it looks like they're all kind of moving in and out and moving about. Like
I was
they're.
gonna say, so is it like?
You don't get the feeling like you've only seen half of them or anything like that, but you certainly get the feeling you haven't seen everything.
Fair. Okay. Invisibility time check.
Oh, how long does it last?
10 minutes.
10 minutes? I'd say you still have a good more than half left.
Okay. So the rocks that I like climbed over, are they shorter than the palisade?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. So then there's no easy way into it in that way. Okay. No, I'm satisfied. I will return to the crew.
Okay. Well, you do so without any issue.
I'm trying to recall what I know about lizard folk, but I just can't think of anything.
Ah, shoot. That's just bad luck.
Yeah. I think they speak parcel tongue. That's what I remember. I rolled a 16. I probably did actually. They speak of languages that exist in this world, but still not a lot.
What did we decide about innate spells and their components? Still just like they have to do everything as normal, or
Innate, what's an innate spell? Is that a mag?
I think yes. I think we figured out that they are the same.
Is that a Magus thing I'm too champion to understand?
You can replace any material component with a somatic component for an innate spell.
right, okay.
This is like with a verbal.
So it's got manipulate. It doesn't. Can't find either the new. Oh wait, no. So the old listing has somatic and verbal. The new one doesn't specify outside of it being a manipulate.
Yeah, I've been really frustrated with that.
Yeah, that's annoying that it's.
The old. I did notice with the old theme was that for every action there was an additional component on average, with like there were exceptions. So it's good. If like so, like a spell was only verbal or only somatic. A lot of the times it was a one action spell. But I think there were exceptions.
Okay, well, I feel like there's a decent chance that I have enough time to do this anyways, so I will climb down off the rocks, and I will move, I don't know, 100 feet away from the palisade for a minute, and I will, oh wait, actually, how long does that last? No, it's probably, never mind. No, it's not gonna work the way I want. I was gonna detect I was thinking detect magic had a duration, and I was gonna detect magic and do a pass along the front and see if I could detect anything in the palisade. But it doesn't work that way. I'd have to literally keep recasting it and pinging the whole way down. So.
Well, for what it's worth, in that vein, because I think you would have known to look for it, the hobgoblin that you fought and destroyed in Drellin's Ferry did have magical swords. And though the sort of the weaponry that they were carrying inside that palisade looked similar.
It was similar. Where are they? Okay, not only are you guys getting freaking like weapons made for them, then what they have to do before getting magical ones.
It's true. Yeah.
What the fuck? Did they steal them from someone, or are they just being made? Like what the fuck? Did the sword that we sold in Jones Ferry from the one that had the two magical swords, did it look like it was Hobgoblin make, or was it look like it was made by
The ones that the lieutenants now have.
Yeah, they looked Hobgoblin make. I mean, they looked quite fine, but certainly not a style that you've seen before.
That's fucking weird.
Well, I think perhaps this is a good place to pause while you all decide how you want to tackle this palisade.
For what it's worth, I don't want to tackle it yet. I don't want to tackle it on the way back.
Ooh.
That's
I
my plan.
absolutely want to do this first thing in the morning.
I don't want to because any reason to know we're here.
What time of day is it?
It would still be before noon.
Oh wait, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot that we camped overnight in the Witchwood.
Yeah.
You did.
We abbreviated that. So like my head, this was still all the same.
Yep.
Thing, but
Yep. Yeah, we kind of all blurred together there.
Yes, I think. Don't see a lot of benefit to us for attacking them before we've done our mission. They could let others know,
That there's people in the
or they don't even need to let others know if they don't get a message. If they're reporting to someone and a message never comes,
or someone goes to deliver a message and they get there like, oh, everyone's dead. Shit, what happened? No, there's none of the alarms raised more, so.
you didn't get a good view of everyone in there either. You saw.
there was at least a dozen or so and a pair of ogres.
They have a cave
few
troll.
soldiers that were decorated similar to my adversary from Terrelton's Ferry.
Just just to get visibility off, walk up to the wall and be like, yo, 1v1 me, bro.
You won't. 1v1 me, and then I cast Mirror Image.
I think there might be a few too many unknowns with this place as well. We don't necessarily know who else could be
Inside.
waiting for us.
Interestingly, I forget I don't know what the word for them are, but the spiked logs that were pointing north, I guess I will mention that too, that there's a chance that this is more to prevent southbound travel than northbound.
Another point of evidence that they don't want anyone finding out what's going on in the north.
Or finding out what's going on in the north and getting back. To inform other people.
I think it's best to carry on.
Do
My wayward son.
we have 2 votes to do it immediately, 2 votes to do it
Nah,
later?
I'm not.
Kevin
gonna-
really wants to assault this place.
Yeah.
Stefan-
I
Stefan
understand
wants it now.
logistically
Yeah.
why it doesn't make a ton of sense to
Yeah.
do it now. But hear me out though. If we're like, oh, we're gonna do this thing, and we're trying to come back, and we're like, oh, but we're really exhausted, and this place isn't preemptively destroyed, might have to deal with it then.
Conversely, because we fight them today, we could be very exhausted when we fight the thing in the swamp.
True.
Also, compelling point to add to this. That adds to whatever one of you two said before. It'll be hilarious if we kill. It's the reverse of they come to send them a message and they're like, "What the heck? Everyone's dead." It'll be hilarious if we kill somebody at the top and just start killing people down.
Yeah.
Like, man, and we show up and they're like, "Here's a message. Everybody's dead," and then we kill them.
That'd be pretty good. Oh, look, there's people are on the road. Finally, we're waiting for a message. It's 2 days overdue. Wait, those are hobgoblins.
That's a space station.
That's no moon. That's no
All right,
travelers.
so all right, we're going to proceed along with our plan of hugging the northernmost part of the Witchwood
I agree with this plan.
and try to
I also
find
tragically agree with this plan.
and try to find.
Don't worry, let's just
The
we'll
elves.
just come there.
Okay.
I will
In theory.
hunt
You
the elves
Okay. All right.
because I have heard about them in detail from source.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Well, we know what we're doing. And this was a pretty good section for Tortimus, honestly.
Yep.
Arch. Oh boy.
Cool.
Enjoy half of our team.
Yeah, that was a weird one.